Foods to buy now. Hey everybody, this is Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. Seriously, there are foods, we all eat different things. So this is a caveat. This is my list of what I recommend and what I think might work for you. We've heard about all the shortages. We've heard about all the stuff going on. We know about inflation. So all these things affect us and our ability to procure food for our family. So these are some things I'm talking about, things to buy to build your prepper pantry. These aren't in any specific order. So grain of salt, this is what we do, what we eat. You may eat differently, but this is our list. Starting off with random order. I just wrote down some notes. I like shelf-stable stuff, right? Because we want stuff to last. We need to be able to rotate through our preps, but we also want stuff that we don't have to worry about as much because we want it there long-term, just in case, because we don't know when things are going to happen. We know they will, so I'm not saying if. We know they will, but we don't know exactly when. So I'm talking sugar. Good morale item, right? Sweeten up things, make candies, make breads, make cakes, make cupcakes, all these things that will make your life so much better in a bad situation. Salt. We need salt. We need the sodium in our bodies. But, for the most part, we can get it from our normal foods. You don't need much, but salt is really good. And the shelf life, like I'm saying. And seasoning, because, we want our stuff to taste better. Those rice and beans will get really bland and really old if we don't have ways to spice them up. So, honey. Honey is so good. It never goes bad. It may crystallize, but then all you gotta do is heat it up, remelt it down, kind of stuff like that, and use it. Honey, same thing. Morale item. It's good for especially people that struggle. If you get local, organic, raw honey, it really helps people with allergies. So that's a really good thing. Yeast, because we want to bake, right? You can make your own yeast. I know there's ways. I'm not that hardcore yet. Some of you are. Some of you know how to make your own yeast. That's awesome. It's not that difficult to stockpile a lot of yeast, though. We like buying those big vacuum-sealed blocks of yeast at Costco. Speaking of which, we're probably going to Costco today, so I'll probably pick up another one. And we keep them in our baking prep boxes. All right, wheat. Wheat pretty much lasts forever. They've pulled wheat out of Pharaoh's tombs, and it sprouted. Sprouted wheat, speaking of that, is exponentially more nutritious than just the wheat itself. But you can grind it down. You know the uses of wheat. But you can sprout it also, throw it in salads, throw it in a sandwich, throw it in a green smoothie, stuff like that. Rice. Yeah, you guys know rice. Rice, beans, lentils, chickpeas, all those kind of things, right? Okay, so I'm not really going to spend too much time on that. Freeze-dried fruits and veggies. Really good shelf life. They last a long time, and they're good for you. You got to get all those nutrients. And a lot of preppers, they think just calories. You can't just think calories. Before I go any further, subscribe, hit that thumbs up, share the videos, comment below, and watch the video to the end because all this stuff is very important. It's not just about the calories. It's about the macronutrients, which are the proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. And then it is about the micronutrients, which are all the vitamins and minerals. All these vitamins and minerals are essential for us and our health and our body to be able to function at its optimal state. Very important. Canned veggies and canned fruits, same thing. You want that variety. Colors matter in foods. Colors represent different things. So a very colorful meal is very well balanced in a lot of nutrients, those micronutrients I'm talking about. So do that, variety, mix it up. And the shelf life is pretty good. What I like about canned goods, canned fruits, canned vegetables, canned meats, I'll get into, are that they're rations. No preparation needed. Open the can, eat it right out of the can, makes it easy. We got to find ways to make it easy for ourselves, because if it's always beans and rice or wheat and stuff like that, dried corn, we have to reconstitute it. We have to cook it. We got to go through all that work to get it done. So it's good to have stuff that's quick and easy. So mix it up a little bit. One of our family favorites is peanut butter. We love just eating a spoon of peanut butter. So, and it has a fairly decent shelf life. It does go rancid. So it's got one of the things you got to be in the rotation of. Some of these things you don't have to rotate, like the beans, rice, wheat, yeast, yogurt. A lot of what did I say, yogurt? I'm looking at yeast and honey, and I combined the words. A lot of those things you don't have to rotate, but some of these you do. Peanut butter is really good because it has healthy fats and protein in it. So that's a good thing, because a lot of preppers, I see they find it more difficult, not impossible or hard necessarily, but more difficult to get healthy fats in the food storage, because like olive oil, coconut oil, butter, all these things don't last forever. So it's more difficult sometimes for some people. We like the freeze-dried, the cheese powder. It's really good. You can also get those blocks of Velveeta cheese, because all you need you need some pasta, dried pasta, right? Lasts quite a while. Throw that, cook it up, throw some of that cheese in there, and you got mac and cheese. That's a great morale item, a great meal to have. I mean, I don't know any kid that doesn't love mac and cheese. I don't know any person that doesn't love mac and cheese, unless they are vegan or something like that due to medical reasons or whatever it is. Freedom of choice, free will, right? We can all eat what we want to eat. But that's really good. That may be a really good morale item. Of that note, though, if you are vegan, nutritional yeast is a really good option for kind of giving you that cheesy flavor without using a dairy product. We have tried, because my wife has lupus, we have tried almost every diet under the sun to try to help her feel better. We've tried vegetarian, we've tried vegan, we've tried even the hardcore raw foodist stuff. And what I have found throughout that process is they're all doable. You can make awesome, yummy foods doing all that stuff. There's a level of difficulty in getting used to figuring out how to do it, but you can do it. So if that's something you're looking at, you can do it. I choose to eat meat. I like eating meat, but that's, it's a personal thing. We all have free will, like I said. Seasonings and spices, like I mentioned before. Those beans and rice are going to get really bland and boring if you don't season them properly. So lots of spices. Seasonings and spices. Our favorite seasonings and spices are the buttery steakhouse blend that we get at either Costco or Walmart. I forget the brand. That and the same brand, the caramelized onion seasoning. It's amazing. But we like onion powder, garlic powder. Those are our main go-to favorites. We don't use much salt itself. Just that's the way our diet is. But what we do is some of those things, the seasonings, we have to have salt in them. But shelf-stable fats, like I mentioned. Sometimes it's more difficult to get fats in your diet, so we're talking about butter. Powder you can get. Canned butter also you can buy. Coconut oil and ghee. What is ghee? Ghee is clarified butter. It's cooked down so that it's kind of like the pure version of butter, I guess. I don't know how you go about it, but it is more shelf stable. Coconut oil is more shelf stable also. And then if you can get the powdered or the canned butter, it will also last longer. All right, last one on the list. We got canned meats. And like I said, if you're vegetarian, vegan, or something like that, just disregard that. You're gonna find other ways. Lentils, beans, rice. There's lots of different things that you can do to get your proteins in. A lot of people think that they need all this protein, and you really don't need as much protein as they tell you you do. Remember, the meat, dairy, egg, all those industries are pretty big and powerful, and they tell you a lot of things to get you to eat their products. You don't need as much protein as they say you do. If you're a bodybuilder, that may be different, but the average person doesn't need as much protein as they say. And along those notes, like the egg industry, the whole thing about breakfast being the most important meal of the day? that came from the egg industry. They came up with that slogan. That came up with that whole entire idea. It's not true. Breakfast is not the most important meal of the day. It really doesn't matter when you eat your foods, whether it's early in the day, middle of the day, late in the day. All you need to do is get the nutrients, the calories, the macronutrients and the micronutrients that your body needs in a 24-hour period. It doesn't matter when you eat it. Like I said, a lot of these things we've been lied to over the years by these big, powerful industries telling us what we need to do and skewing our minds and indoctrinating us into their ways so they can make more money. We need to think outside of that, outside the box, and be intelligent, free-thinking individuals, able to exercise our free will. So take this on board, stockpile the correct things, and you will have a much better chance of surviving what is coming. I love you guys. Have a wonderful day, and blessings to you and yours.